Hey guys! I suppose you're wondering what we are looking at right now, but this is one of my brandy new paintings. Okay, well, it's not a painting I did, but it's a painting that a friend did to me, and I just love it. It kind of reminds me of Chicago. That's where I was born and stuff like that. And they have all those water towers on tops of the buildings, which they don't have anymore. Which those almost themselves look like UFOs on tops of buildings from a parallel universe. But anyway, that is not why I'm making this video. I just wanted to make this video because, or I wanted to make the precursor to this video. And even then, first off, I wanted to apologize for the noise. And I apologize because there was some noise that was just made in the background. But in any case, it's a really busy time for me. It's a really busy time and noisy time. Pretty much every place I go, as you can see. So I want to apologize for the noise, but I did want to get this video out. I'm like working 2 jobs right now, and I'm doing some volunteer work and stuff, so this week was going to be the only time I was going to be able to do it, and I miss talking with some of my metaphysical peoples about all things Mandela and otherworldly, so it's been too long. A week has been too long. So I wanted to get this video out today, and I wanted to know what you think, and lastly, I just wanted to say, continue watching till the end because I have some really weird personal stories, just a couple really weird personal stories, the second one being the weirdest, involving possible Mandela effects in my workplace and in the business world, and I really want to know what you guys think. And of course, if I sound distracted in the beginning of the video, it's because I was kind of in a rush and I knew this was the only time I would be able to get it out, but eventually it gets crack-a-lackin' and crank-a-lankin' when I get really more into what I'm talking about. But in any case, I really wanted to share this with you guys, and it's been too long since I've talked to some of you about all things crazy, and as you know, what do I always say about my viewers and subscribers? You're some of the coolest, most insightful people that I have ever come across in these matters, in these realms. Alright, I guess that's about all, and peace out, and I hope you enjoy the video and have some observations of your own. Alright. On to the video. Hey you guys, oh my god. So is the Mandela Effect hitting mainstream small businesses or the business world? Or being written up in business reports and business articles about the business world? This is so crazy. So this article came from a really great video maker and I would say researcher and commentator in the Mandela Effect community, and he's your friend and mine, DGBK. And basically it was like this article about whether or not the Mandela Effect can hurt your business, which is crazy. And it was the only article that I had ever found on it, which was really pretty funny. And it came from this website called ondeck.com. ondeck.com company, or it's ondeck.com. Apparently it's been around since 2007, so it was created in 2007 to provide capital to small businesses. It evaluates businesses' actual performance, not just personal credit. It was launched in 2008, groundbreaking short-term loan that combines best-in-class technology and service. And then in 2010, it surpassed $100 million in capital delivered to small businesses in all 50 U.S. states. Wow, that's a lot of capital delivery. I hope they don't suffer a Mandela effect on their end, because they could end up with a lot less capital than they thought, and vice versa. In 2014, listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, so that sounds pretty legit. In 2015, launched a line of credit and long-term loans, expanded to Canada and Australia. Okay, that's no small chickens there. And today, leader in online small businesses lending with innovative products and services. And I wonder if any of their products and services are innovative within the realms of parallel realities. So in any case, they wrote this article, or this article was published on their website as a cautionary tale. Oh, and they have a phone number up there, so maybe there's a way one of us can call them and be like, hey, you know that Mandela Effect article you posted? Have you guys ever experienced any of it in your workplace? What prompted this? Because actually, technically, I would be curious to know, but In any case, it starts off, oh, look at this guy with all these colored post-it notes. Oh my god, he's looking at his post-it notes and they've all gotten erased. That's a sure sign of the Mandela Effect. Like, who puts non-written post-it notes all over their screen and can't even see their stupid computer screen? I can see why this guy's having problems at work. But anyway, it's a nice little pastel-colored tableau, very eye-catching. Too bad it's not closer to the title, because then it'd be even more eye-catching, but oh well. Okay, so how often have you followed up with an employee about an assignment or project only to find that he or she completed it differently from the way you'd expected? God. I want to see. I put bunches of pastel post-it notes on the paper I told you to write. Okay. You were sure you had explained the task, and your employees seemed to understand. However, somewhere between your explanation and the completed task, the information became garbled. Or maybe when your employee went to do the task, he or she thought they were doing what you asked without realizing they were remembering the instructions incorrectly. This example of misinformation isn't just limited to The Office. Recently, the children's book series Berenstain Bears was in the news because thousands of people remembered the name being spelled with an E instead of an A. So what's going on here, and why should you be aware as a small business owner? What? Big business owners shouldn't be aware? Only small business owners? Oh, I know why only small business owners should be aware, because big business owners have the technological know-how to straighten things out, if you know what I mean, whether it's from human resources or that mad scientist they keep chained to a time machine in the basement. But anyway, it continues on. This phenomenon has been named the Mandela Effect and used to describe when people remember important events falsely. How did it get its name? Apparently, a substantial population thinks that Nelson Mandela passed away in prison in the 1970s. Actually, I had always heard the 1980s, but even the Mandela death misunderstanding seems to be shifty. Because I'm hearing now they're saying 1970s, but I always remember the early 80s, and then somebody said the late 80s too, so I don't know, that seems shifty to me. Just let me know what you guys remember. So anyway, he passed away in prison in the 1970s, a fact that is patently untrue. The first black president of South Africa actually died in 2013, surrounded by his family. So then, it just goes on to say, in The Office, this behavior can lead to business practices you haven't sanctioned. My lord, I didn't sanction this. I did not sanction this parallel reality coming to pass. Of making paper cranes when I said that you wanted to paper the neighborhood with information about our cranes that we make so diligently. Okay. That you haven't sanctioned deadlines that pass by because workers remembered the dates wrong, or deliverables that don't adhere to specifications. So what gives? Explanations for the Mandela Effect range from otherworldly, there's a parallel universe, to the totally mundane. Sometimes we just file things incorrectly in our brain. And then the rest of the conversation goes on to being very mundane in and of itself. How to avert office-wide Mandela effects, listen, follow up, every 2 seconds, ask for reports, weekly recaps. So, anyway, On Deck wants everybody to be on deck with knowing what the Mandela Effect is and getting it right, getting everything right. But if it's parallel reality, I'm not really sure how we would. I'm not really sure this article would exist in a parallel reality that they're telling us about. That said, something really weird, I've had a couple of weird work stories that basically happened. There was one time where our performing arts organization was thinking of building a certain architectural structure. It was like a collar and a bow tie, and they were going to put it out in front of the Walt Disney Concert Hall. And there were plans to do it, but it was never done, at least not in this reality. But there was a patron who called and said, I want to know what you're going to do with the scraps of that, because I really enjoyed it when I came down to see it, and where is it? And then we were just like, well, that never happened. But the weird thing is that one of our employees told her differently, she didn't know, because she remembers it being out there for 2 weeks. So that was kind of weird. That was kind of work related. And then I had a really weird one just happen to me recently. where this lady called and left a message on my machine, and she's like, hey, I want you to help me get tickets for this thing, blah blah blah. And she called me at a totally busy time, and I didn't have time to call her back right away. So I noticed that day on her account she had a bunch of tickets, and so I thought to myself, oh well, she must have called, and gotten tickets and not waited around for me. But I called her eventually for something else, and she was just like, oh yeah, thank you for helping me get those tickets. And I was like, I didn't help you get tickets. And she goes, well, somebody named Jennifer called me. And I'm just like, that's so weird. Because number one, there is no other Jennifer in our department. And number two, our department doesn't make outbound calls. So that was like really, really strange. And she goes, yeah, I thanked her for calling me back. And she kind of just didn't seem to know what it was and blew me off. So maybe she's a Jennifer with one foot in this parallel universe and one foot out of this parallel universe. But in any case, and it was weird too, because it was processed so in other words, it wasn't done by some outbound marketing company, because it was processed by somebody within the organization, but it was a name I did not recognize. So that was just so strange. I've been meaning to follow up on that and what that was, but I haven't been able to. That said, if you guys have any stories about anything weird that's happened to you at work, or you remember it one way and your boss remembers it another, or vice versa, or any of your coworkers, or any of your customers for that matter, just let me know. I would be really, really curious to hear that. And it's just pretty fascinating that it's making sort of the mainstream workarounds of this on-deck business thing, which has taken over the world like Donald Trump with their business sensibilities, apparently. But that's about it.